is all around me. Hey, Marion, you number one, girl. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. What? Queen Fontaine. In a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. And let me be sacred at play. Hey, hey. Oh, let me learn from all the ways I fall. Hey, back to heart. We don't want to keep doing the same old dumb things over and over again. Let me know that love will heal us all. Hey, let me know that love will heal us all. Ain't that right, Cheryl? Let me walk each day a little wiser. Hey, Sharon, hey, let me walk a little wiser. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Hey, y'all, come on into the room now, because it's going to be a popping evening tonight. Don't my piano sound good? Yeah. Tonight we have the great life coach Ade Anifowose, who's going to join me in just a minute, but y'all got to come on into the room. I know some of y'all just coming out of happy hour so that you can get a little happier with me. Hey, Max. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love. Hey, oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. That is the sound of a fabulous piano. Thank you, God, for my new instrument. I love it so much. I love playing on it. Just a week ago in a day, I was, not quite a week ago because I didn't get it until Thursday, but I was like, no, I got it Wednesday. I got it today. Did it come on Wednesday? Yeah, it came on a Wednesday. Yes, I had it last week, but it sounds better this week because I've gotten used to it. It took me a moment, but I did. I'm getting used to this good piano, this beautiful gift that was given to me, and I'm accepting it. You know, I told somebody today, I was like, you know, it's one thing when somebody, when you receive something and you take it and you go like, well, you know, thank you. And, but when you accept it deeply, when you accept it, that's a different thing. I received it, but I hadn't accepted it. Well, I've accepted it now. This is a bad piano. I don't know what I was thinking about. Like the piano tuner told me, it's a substantial upgrade. He says, Mama Rickie, this piano is you've upgraded substantially. So I got a substantial upgrade in sound. Come on into the room. Deidre Sermons is here. Robin Green, Kimberly. Hey, I guess we can get moving. We're going to bring into the fold with us as we go into prayer, my beloved brother, Ade Anifowose. Yes. Did I say your name right, bro?
Yep. You say in that Rickie way that just nobody can just do it the best way.
Ade.
Right. It's got to have a musical.
Well, when you say you said Ade.
Ade.
Ade. Ade.
It's thing about memories.
I have missed your name.
I see.
Hey, before we get started though, this shirt, I didn't know that it would be quite so dark on the screen, but this is a bad little shirt. This shirt says dream.
What?
It says dream big. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
It says look in
For
all
love in all things.
look for love in all things. It's got
Mm-hmm.
radiating positivity. It's got no bad vibes. It's got this shirt. It says it's got I can. And I got this shirt in a place called Lamert Park here in Los Angeles. And the woman was selling it in her on her rack. Hi Mardell, on her rack. And she was like selling the clothes for very inexpensive. Then they had jewelry that was like just so inexpensive. And she says, I did that myself. I did that myself. So she did all of the drawing on the shirt. So apparently she got some shirts, and then she got the artistic things, the glitter. The shirt was just a plain old black shirt, but it's a great black shirt. It's a great shirt. I think a man would love this shirt, but this shirt is like is my shirt now. So this woman loves it, but it's got buttons on the sleeve. I mean, it's really made well, is my point. But so I don't know where she got them from, but when she painted on the shirt, she put her essence in it. She put her love in it. That's the beauty of art. That's the beauty of music and and things that people do where they let their essence flow into the form. She let her essence flow into the form, and she gave me something that was beautiful to her. Now I tried to give the shirt away to a lot of people, and they were like, I ain't wearing that shirt, but it works for me, because because of her. It works for me because of her, because I met her heart, and it was special. So here's to art. Here's to people who create things from their heart to bring beauty into others' lives. We got people on the thread who do that. And in the room with me right now is one such as that. His name again is Ade, and he is they kill his name. They call him Ade. We got Ade in the room. And how you doing? How you doing?
I'm good. I love your high vibrational shirt. I mean, that was just for you. I mean, she took the black, the invisible, made it visible with love, because that's what you're about. So of course you had to like it. Nobody can take it. Nobody could have had it because it's for you. It's got Rickie all over it.
Hey,
That was yours.
I received that. And I accept that. So I'm going to read what I wrote about you. Life coach Ade Anifowose returns to soulful feelings, songs, and conversations to share about his world and what it means to live to the beat of a different drum. Life coach Ade is a man with plans, dreams, love in his heart, and is on a mission to share his wisdom with all who will listen. He has a lot to say. So here to this evening in our virtual meetup with others who come to listen to conversations about life and what makes it so wonderful, we just say RIGASA. Come on into the room.
RIGASA.
Rest in God. You remember when RIGASA was created, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel so honored. Rest in God and say I did. I mean, come on.
So come on and talk to me, my brother. Tell us about your life.
Wait. I gotta tell you about that write-up that you did about me. I flipping love it. I love it so much that I want you to send it to me. I'm adding to my bio and anything else. That is just you tuned in, you tapped in. That sometimes people will say things about you and you're like, yeah. It's like you feel the essence. What you did there, I'm like, yeah, that is me. Yes, I have a lot to say. And I have a plan. And for me, and then you said you said something about for those who are ready to listen.
Yeah.
I'm very, very clear about that nowadays. Everybody ain't trying to listen to what I have to say. Not because they have a judgment of it.
Yeah.
The most important thing is to know who I'm talking to and what I'm listening to. Because it happens when it happens. And so that write-up is just right up. I'll pay you for it.
Okay. I put it in the B hood. No,
That's right.
is what I was sharing earlier that with some other people also, that because I did this program, like when I started Soul Fulfilling at your, is the word behest? Is that the way you use that word? But
No, just nudging, just nudging.
at your nudging, well, it
Mm.
was pretty much a nudge. It was almost like a kick you in the butt, get out the room. Get you like, no, you're not going to do an audio. You're going to be seen. No,
And you
Rickie,
tried to release the show over the years. I think it's going to change. I think I'm going to stop doing it. I'm like, oh, okay, but nope.
well,
Like the shirt, you had to take it.
yeah, well, and I keep doing it.
Yeah.
What I'm finding is that in doing the show, is making me, with the writing of what's happening every week, I've become a much better writer. I'm editing quicker, faster,
Mm,
and I can get to the point. I can see the words that I don't need to say,
mm.
and that helps me in my delivery period because I have a lot to say too. When you get me and you together, we go like, oh, hope he stops so I can talk. Hope she stops so I can talk. We got stuff to say, but I'm saying, I'm listening more. I'm listening more, and this show has helped me to do that.
Mm,
So it's helped me to become a better writer, a better
mm,
listener, and to just to be grateful for the great wisdom that comes from the people who come to the show. I love the people who come on our thread. I mean, welcome Floyd Dozier is in the house. Wanda Thomas, is it Iyabodi? Iyabodi.
Iyabode. Iyabode.
Iya.
Like Iyala?
Uh-huh. Iyabodi.
Iyabode.
Oh,
There you go.
Iyabodi.
Which
So
means mother returned.
that Iyabodi is often in the room with us. So, but I've been calling her Iyabodi. I've been,
And
messing up her name.
times when I hear you say that, I'm like, ooh, jeez. Okay,
Well, yeah, and
never
you
mind.
didn't even tell me. You didn't tell me.
Well, I'm not often there when you do it, and then when I was there too. I mean, I try and say that's Iyabode, Iyabode. I'm like, ooh, okay.
Okay, Iyabodi. Okay,
Iyabode.
Iyabode.
There you go. That's it right there.
Iyabode.
Yeah, you
Okay,
got to slow it down and get jiggy with it.
and
Iyabode.
it means mother of what?
Mother returned.
Mother returned. All right,
Yeah.
now. Well, Papa returned in you tonight, and we're happy that you're here.
Oh, stop it. Yeah.
Kathy O'Barrow is with us. Deidre Sermon. So is Deidre your woman?
No, Deidre's not my woman.
Oh, what's your girlfriend's name?
Yeah, Deidre, not this lifetime.
What?
Keisha is my woman this
Keisha.
lifetime.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, Deidre. I'm not trying to get nobody in trouble around
Oh,
here.
that's okay. It's all good.
But her face looked a little bit like your fiance's face.
Hmm,
So we're going to get started. Okay, let's get started. And first,
okay.
let's all just take a deep breath and give thanks for this wonderful life, this life that God is in, through, and as each of us.
Mhm.
I just give thanks, and with gratitude, I just allow our moments right now to flow in God. God God gets us ready for everything that we need when we're listening to God. So right now we're listening to each other for the highest and the best, knowing indeed that the highest and the best in us is God.
Yes.
And so we shine that light and just allow it to be, and so it is.
And so it is.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes, I
Yeah.
share.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. It's a good life. So I'm gonna roll and then I'll do a song, okay?
Mhm.
Okay. So the way I'm rolling is to hear about what makes your, I know some of your story, but you are a different kind of being. And the movie about your life
Mhm.
speaks to that. It speaks
Mhm.
to what makes a different being. It's like those things that we come upon in our lives that are sometimes very challenging to face or to endure are the
Mhm.
very things that bring out the best in us. You know.
Yes.
So speak on it, my brother.
Oh Lord, you got me like I'm about to shout. You know, my journey in the last, I mean, even if I say in the last 5 years, it's been a journey of pruning, of removing all the things that are no longer needed, all the stories and narrative that I've carried that I think it's me or that I've worked hard to fine tune. I feel like I'm in a space of just shedding. You know, the documentary you talk about, what is it, White Nanny Black Child, is a story of a group of adults, nine of us, that were privately fostered in the 60s in America, in England. And it's a story that was not really, most people didn't know it. And those of us that lived it didn't even know this story
Mm-hmm.
because we didn't know. Nobody talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
However, what we knew was we were individually struggling with, you know, belonging, connection, identity,
Mm-hmm.
and if we're Nigerian enough. Because some of the contributors, their parents had the nanny, and the nanny idea is different from how it is in America. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we lived with a white nanny in their own town outside of where our parents were.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the people were left with the nannies. The parents never came back.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, maybe they went to the nanny like 2 months, 6 months, and the parents didn't come back until when they were 8. And now telling the nanny and the child, well, really didn't tell the child, but basically they were taking the child back to Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this confusion that happened with that journey. And so the documentary was about bringing us together to tell the story,
Mm-hmm.
and in but it's more about giving voice and presence and face to a hidden story.
Mm-hmm.
And what ended up happening was life transforming. I mean, that was August 2022. That's when we did the retreat. And then it screened in last year. I think it was the first screening was in June or July, I can't remember,
Mm-hmm.
2023. But I'm telling you, I have never felt so proud to be a Nigerian.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a time when I didn't want people to know I was Nigerian.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time when I felt like I wasn't Nigerian enough. I
Mm-hmm.
doubted if I'm Nigerian. I doubted who I am, even though I knew who I was then.
Mm-hmm.
I had an understanding, but it was something deep down in me that felt disjointed, displaced.
Mm-hmm.
So the experience that we went through helped me heal a sense of displacement
Mm-hmm.
because I never felt like any place was home. The
Yes.
only place that felt like home, which also was confusing, was Atlanta, Georgia.
I knew you were going to say it. I knew you were
Yeah,
going to say Atlanta. Yeah.
it was like I felt at home.
Yeah.
I felt I was, and then I think this is great. But then I was saying, well, how can I feel at home
Here.
in the United States of America when I wasn't born here? And that was a confusion. I was grateful that I now know, well, as I knew it then, know what it meant to feel at home. But then
Mm-hmm.
I was saying to myself, but you're not from here. Why
Mm-hmm.
don't I feel at home with where my parents are from, my ancestors are from?
Mm-hmm.
And UK was just like, yeah, whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't. I think that question led to an action, an appointment that I didn't know I booked many years ago before I took on flesh.
Mm-hmm.
And life determined that yeah, it's time to come back to UK to heal the past and the present.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
some of your listeners will know, or maybe I'll say our listeners
Mm-hmm.
will know that I was in a detention center for 40 days and 40 nights,
Mm-hmm.
and that.
What he's saying is that Homeland Security came
Mhm,
on a bus and
mhm.
took and swooped down on him, took him off
Yes,
the bus and put
yes.
him in a cage
Hmm.
for
Cage
40
and
days
will.
and 40 nights because he hadn't done his proper work, kept his due diligence with his green card,
Hmm.
right? Was it a green card?
Yeah, I hadn't finished the process, and
Yeah,
just kind of got comfortable, and
yeah.
then when we
You just,
tried to do
yeah,
it.
yeah. You just acted like you were from Atlanta.
Right, exactly. I mean, come on, I feel at home here. And they were
Yeah,
like, not so fast.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not so fast.
Atlanta is very dear in my heart, man. And for a lot of reasons, that was a town that I moved to when I was like 5 years
Mm,
old, and lived with my aunt there. And it would be a journey that would, in many ways, define who I would become, who I am now.
yes.
And some of it was a painful definition,
Mhm.
a painful reference, but time has helped me to heal. My mother's love helped to heal a lot
Mm,
because it will only be somebody's love is going to help you to heal.
absolutely.
Love is the only thing that can.
Love will make a way, find a way, and will
Yeah,
track you down.
yeah, it will. You can have information. You can have you can have knowledge about things. You can even have some therapies, which are
Mhm.
good, and you get to the root of it. But until you can touch that love deep
Yes.
within you that was always there, and really receive that, and know that you walk in the love of God, and that God, you always did and always will, you know, then you're something is still something is still crying, you
Mhm.
know, and it's really, but we can make it through, you know, we can make it through that. We don't have to get stuck there. We do not have to get stuck there. Hey, Jill and John, y'all, Wanda. Hey, y'all, some of my good friends are here. I'm going to sing a song about that. I sing it all the time. What I love about my songs is I don't care. There is a power, a presence, one life of all, and no other power can exist outside of the infinite. Oh, one love, there can only be God's love. Oh, yes, I know that I walk. Oh, yes, I walk in the love of God. There is a wisdom, no way, a loving and a truth. Whatever you need to know will come in God's way for you. We'll just say until it shows. I will pray and I won't move on till I know, that I walk in the love of God. When you walk in the love of God, you just go ahead on and sing your heart out. You don't worry about it. For the power and the glory and the love of God is everywhere. With the white babies, everywhere. With the black babies, everywhere. And you know in your heart that the power and the glory and the love of God is everywhere. Can you see it? When can you be it? It's everywhere. And you know in your heart that you are in the love of God. You walk in the love of God. Oh, yes, you walk in the love of God. I love this song, Ade.
Absolutely. Mhm.
I love it because of these words here. There is a power, a presence, one life of all, and no other power can exist outside of the infinite, oh, one love, there can only be God's love. Oh, yes, I know that I walk. Oh, yes, I walk in the love of God. I walk in the love of God. Oh, yes, we walk in the love of God. Oh, yeah. We walk in the love. We walk in the love of God, Coach.
Yes, indeed. And
Now,
you took me back to Atlanta, Georgia,
oh
Hillside
my God.
International True Center, when
Right.
the choir came over and did that. Oh my God.
I got
That
somebody gave me a clip from 1996 when the choir was there.
yes.
Judy Sloan. She has the whole like she took a VCR and had it transferred to some kind of CD
Wow.
thing, and so I got to look. I just don't have any more disk space on my computer. I got to figure out what to do about that. You know, But she sent the whole thing, and then she sent just a clip of the choir singing something. But she said, but I remember when we came. I remember how incredible that was.
I am telling you, that concert broke me open, broke my heart open, and your presence, your authenticity. I remember what's the prayer song? I think this day I awoke with
Make me stronger.
Make me stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And the choir did it, and you turned around and you said, "Isn't that beautiful?" You said, "No, not because I wrote it, but just listen to it." And then you did it again. I was like, "Oh my God." Oh, yeah. I would never, ever, 10, 20 lifetimes after this one, I'm still going to remember that concert.
Yes, that was a good old concert. And I think Carl Anderson was there that night too. Is that the one where the power went off?
I think it is.
Yeah, the power went off. I think we were singing "I Rest in Thee" or something, and I think the power went off, and it was, it was just like a whoom. It was one of those whoom whoom moments. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and she was talking to Georgia about the about the youth program back in the day at the church of Agape, and this person was part of the youth program. She was one of the older kids that was running. But she was a kid, but she was a leader. She was a great leader, and Georgia and she were like that. But Georgia was a kid in the program, She was a kid in the program. But I bring on all that up to say, because she was telling Georgia how special a time that was. They had a community project called the Peace Garden, and they just looked at each other and they was like, "That was such a good time. It was special. It will never be that again. Not that. Things will be what they will be, but it won't be that.
Absolutely.
It won't be that." And I got to give thanks to God that we all got to meet, including you, Life Coach Ade, that we all got to meet in this field of radiant music and art, because that was what was really tinging it. And then you had this message of this brilliant teacher that and teachers with Dr. Barbara, Dr. Barbara King, and then I would meet Iyanla Van Zant there. I would meet Johnny Coleman there at Hillside. So, that was and now Bishop Jack is there, and it's another, it's another era. Now you're here. Now I'm here. Now we're all different places, all different spaces, and the world continues to unfold and evolve and become what it is, become more of what it is. It's fabulous. I'm just thankful that I got to live long enough so that I can testify. I don't know if Tim is still at Hillside.
I don't think he is, actually. I mean, I don't think he is.
But Mardell, he is in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
He certainly is no stranger. He's no stranger there, but he's not like there.
Right.
In the music ministry. Tim McAfee Lewis told me, "I have retired from the music ministry." I was like, What you talk about, Willie?
What?
Yes. Have you retired from anything in your life that you can say, I don't do that anymore?
Oh, I have retired and continue to retire from the BS that I carried that I thought was issues that I need to iron out. It's like recognizing
He
all of it
retired.
belongs.
You retired from belief systems that didn't work for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I
And
like
that's
that.
what I find with this spiritual, what we call a spiritual journey, doing the inner work.
Yeah.
It returns us back to ourselves, the place that we're running from. I think it was John earlier said, always be proud of who you are. And that's true. Who's going to disagree with that?
Mhm.
However, I believe something happens when we take on flesh,
Mhm.
that it's almost like this identity crisis, identity theft happens, and we now spend, if those of us who choose to
Mhm.
spend our lifetime going back to the beginning.
Mhm.
So for me, when I was going to Hillside, there were so many things I can list for you that was wrong with me that I need to change, and this is wrong with me, that's wrong with me. My affirmation was to correct all the wrongness,
Yeah.
and it wasn't working. And the more I affirmed it, the more it looks like it's showing up, to a place where I recognized those things weren't trying to harm me. They were trying to heal me. They were trying to remind me. They were there to remind me that it's all part of who I am.
Mhm.
I don't need to. I am, like you talked about a concert. When
Mhm.
you played that song, it took me back there.
Mhm.
And it's not back there, it's back there now because I
Back. Yeah.
felt it.
Yeah.
My experience being privately fostered, there was nothing wrong. I had to come when I remember having a conversation with my father, and it felt to me that he got defensive about the whole experience. And I was
Mhm.
telling Dad, it's not that I judge what you did. I just want to tell you about the impact of your choice. That's
Mhm.
all. And it
Mhm.
took a while for him to hear it, and he did hear it.
Well, he got
And
to, and he got to hear you. He got to hear you on his last days.
oh,
On that last leg of his journey.
ooh, my dad and my dad.
You guys did it. Y'all did the thing. You guys cut through. You guys if you don't know it, life coach's father passed on to the other side, and he was very much a part of your life in these days, and probably that homeland swooping down to get you was to bring you back so that you could be with your dad.
hmm
You ever thought
Absolutely.
of it that way?
Oh, I have no doubt in my mind,
Mm-hmm.
because I've often said that, I used to say, oh, well, my dad, not that I had a judgment of him, but, I know I had friends when I was in Atlanta who would say, oh, my father and I will go fishing. Or I'll hear people
Mm-hmm.
say, my father would tell me about life, what it means to be a man. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
my father and I never had that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And I grieved that.
Mm-hmm.
I even looked at it like, what I didn't have, I missed out on life.
Right.
But when I came back here, life was like, ooh, do I have something in store for you? You keep moaning and groaning about what you think you didn't have. Ooh, I got some stuff for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so grateful that my father was receptive. And part of it is my father was receptive and I wanted it. And it was a
Mm-hmm.
healing that I couldn't have asked for in advance.
Mm-hmm.
It happened at the right time. There are many things that happen. Right now, I'm thinking of the lot. Oh, whew, Jesus. When dad was going back to Nigeria, my sisters and my brother, all of us, we did not want him to go back. That was last year.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes, we did not want him to go back. And, he needed help, he needed care. Uh, our, our father, who was a giant, who was God, who was big, now over the years has gotten small. And it's like, now he's the child, we're the parents. It's like, what is this? Well,
Mm-hmm.
nobody told me about this. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember helping him take a shower. And at the end, when we finished, my father said, we talked. I asked him questions about his childhood, and he told me about it. And then after I dried him off, and he said, "Ade, you done good." My father's never, ever, ever said that to me. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
even know why he said it.
Yes.
I was thinking, wait a minute, is he saying it because I asked him about his childhood? My mind went into overdrive.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I heard is like, take it for what it is.
Yes. Yeah,
You
that's
heard
yeah.
your father
Yes. Love
say to
you.
you, you've done good. And
Mhm.
I craved that without even knowing. I wanted to hear him be proud of me
Yes. Yes.
in my 50s.
Yes.
I wanted to hear that. And
Yes.
then we had this kind of not a blowout, but a really challenging breakdown in communication that led, it's a long story. So I'm just going to give you the final end of it. I
Mhm.
think I did a
Mhm.
podcast about it. And after going back and forth, and I gave up, like my father was not listening to me. My sister was trying to mediate. And I just said,
Mhm.
you know what? I don't care anymore. I didn't say
Mhm.
that out loud, but in my head I
Mhm.
said, I'll give up because
Mhm.
he wasn't listening. I was emotional. I was in tears. Something in me was being touched, a
Mhm.
place in me that was raw and tender and painful
Mhm.
that I wasn't even consciously aware of, but I was feeling the pain of it all. And the fact that he wasn't hearing me, the fact that I was telling him my truth. And then we had to stop for a minute. My sister had to go do something. We came back and I sat back where I was right next to him. One day I'll be able to say this without getting emotional. And he grabbed my hand
Yes.
and he said, forgive me for anything that I may have done to hurt you. My father was 89
Mhm.
at that time. He's a
Mhm.
Nigerian man.
Mhm.
That's not the norm. And he
Mhm.
said, forgive me for anything that I did to cause you pain. And he's
Mhm.
like your brother and sisters as well.
Mhm.
And I wept
Mhm.
because he touched that part that I couldn't get to.
Yeah. Mhm.
Nobody could have gotten to it. No amount of I'll say it I'll say it this way first. If as far as I knew, no amount of affirmation and prayer could have gotten to that place the way my father got to it.
Yeah, it was a
He
simple
needed,
place. It was a simple place,
oh my God.
and it was
Yes,
it was a very clear, succinct message to you
yes.
that
And he
says,
touched it with
he
love.
went.
He went straight to it.
That's called the Jedi touch.
Ah, absolutely.
It's like it moves in a simple way. It's like, hey, woo, we need a song, man.
Yes, we
We need a
do.
song. I've heard this story before, and it never ceases to give me chills. It's like because it's like that's something when somebody says, "Hey, forgive me. I didn't mean to hurt you. I love you. I love you. You know." And give me the words he said again.
Well, in in Yoruba, it's
Oh, he was speaking in
Dariji.
Yoruba.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, he
You
speaks
got
English, so we
you
go
you
back
got
and forth.
you speak with your in Yoruba to your dad. You did
Oh yeah,
Yoruba.
oh yeah. So kind of like Spanglish. Any
Yeah, yeah,
Nigerian
yeah,
that you know, or
yeah,
Yoruba people,
yeah.
we speak Yoruba and then go into English and go to Yoruba. It's just so when talking to dad, it's kind of like that. And he just
Hmm.
said, "Dari Jimmy." No, he actually said, "Ma binu," which, if I translate literally, don't be mad, don't be upset,
Uh-huh,
and it
uh-huh.
also means forgive me.
Yes.
And and because before that, years before that, since 2018, seeing him more often,
Hmm.
sometimes he just comes for me. If I have an opinion about something, maybe I make a comment about something going on TV, and it's like, so what should they do? What do you think they should do? I'm like, well, they could do, but why do you think they should do that? And I'm thinking, Dad, why are we arguing about
Because
this?
he's Nigerian.
You ain't never lied.
And
You ain't
Nigerians are
oh
man, they're so smart and argumentative too. So it's like
yes.
you arguing because you're smart, but you're smart enough to not argue.
Oh, and while I'm saying, and that's one of the great things about it. When if I was speaking to dad in Yoruba, I couldn't have said those words. Like, Dad, why are we? I can say it in Yoruba. It doesn't have much of an impact, but in our language,
Yeah.
it will be disrespectful. But that day, when he
Yeah.
gave me that love, when he touched my heart, my soul,
Yeah.
it's like, And one of the things that I did that I'm grateful that I did it. This happened on a Sunday. He was in London with my sibling, with my sisters, and I was there. I live in Leicester, which is about 3.5 hours from London. I left on Monday, came back home, and I remember when I got back here, because when I'm traveling to go to London to come and see him, it's always like, "What time are you going to be here? How far are you? Why is it taking so
And it
long?"
takes 3 hours to get there, right?
Well, yes. I mean, if I go by coach, if I go
Mhm,
by train, maybe about 2.5 hours.
mhm, mhm.
So he was always checking, "Are you almost here? Are you almost here?" So that Monday when I came back and he called me and I said, no, actually, I think I sent a message. Yeah, I sent a message that I'm in Leicester and he called me and we were talking. I was waiting for Uber and my dad and I were talking, and it was like that was almost the first time that I really, really enjoyed
Yeah.
talking to my father on the phone about just, oh, I'm back in Leicester. I didn't want him to hang up. When I had to hang up, I was like, oh, I said, I'll call you back when I get home. And
Yeah.
I called him back. There was
So
a
sweet.
peace.
Yes.
Yes. Now, here's the trick. In that moment, on the Sunday when he said, forgive me, that happened without conscious planning.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that it's easy to miss that moment. I
Mm-hmm.
needed to ground that experience in my
Mm-hmm.
body so I never forget.
Mm-hmm.
So on Tuesday, I made a decision to call him and talk about it again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was a little bit nervous to bring that up again. It's like, oh my God, I don't know why, but I just felt raw. It's like, ooh, that happened. Let's leave it there. But I knew that if I didn't have that conversation,
Mm-hmm.
it would be easy to forget. And
Mm-hmm.
we had the conversation, and I said, Dad, when you said the first word, forgive me, I said, I just lost it. I was in tears.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Yoruba, what they call no kidney. Well, he actually didn't say K is to cry. But
Mm-hmm.
he said, Omi Yolujumi, like water came out my eyes. My
Mm-hmm.
father doesn't say he cried. He would
Yeah.
say water came out my eyes.
I like
It was
water.
one of the
I like
Yoruba.
water. I like water came out of my eyes.
Yeah, right.
I think that's. I'm writing that down. I got some lyrics to that.
It's like,
You
no, I'm
know,
not crying. Water's just coming out my eyes.
water
And,
coming out of my eyes.
and I didn't know he was crying because I was in my own stuff. And I
You
was
got,
like, wow.
you
And that
guys,
helped me in embodying it.
you had so many rich moments, and I think we give thanks for those moments. Not everybody gets those kinds of moments. Some people, you know, never have those kind of moments with their father. I didn't. you
Mm,
know, Not with the father that was my birth father, my biological father, and even my family daddy. We had beautiful moments together, but I wasn't. He died young, and I didn't really get to be with him much. He
mm,
was just a beautiful person. I didn't, and I was a kid. When he passed, so I wouldn't have that kind of relationship with a father, but I would find that kind of relationship with my uncle George, and
George.
he would say these words to me, and the thing is like it used to bother me when I had a hole in myself, uh, about um, about what I didn't have growing up
Mm,
and what wasn't present for me, and what I missed out on because I was around people who did have grandfathers and
mm,
grandmothers and who did have a certain type of material wealth. They had things that I didn't have, that I couldn't see,
mhm.
for myself. Because when you're looking at what somebody else got, you can't really see what's with you.
Yeah, you
You
actually
know,
think you lost something because
yeah,
they got it. That means I don't have it
well,
because they ain't looking at what we had.
it's like, and somebody would look at what we got and go like, "Are you kidding me?" You know,
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
you got Robert Byers and you got a
Mhm.
problem, but emotionally, when you're growing up, you got lots of things that are firing. You got hormones, you got dreams, you got programming, you got all kinds of stuff that's beating up on you. But when I got those magic words, man, that I am enough, that it's right here. God is enough
Mhm.
inside of me. God is enough. It's like God is enough. And God loves me so, you know. And in the land of I am was that song, that in the
Mm.
land of I am was that song. It was like, I am here in you.
Mm.
And
Mm.
and the ancestors were saying, we are here in
Yes.
you.
Yes.
The spirit of God is like, I am here in you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, in the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. The souls of all my great grandmothers and the dreams of all my great grandfathers, and the way to rise beyond the pain. Oh, live in me. They live in me. They're right here in me. You know, my mom left a manuscript that we found that my brother has.
Mm.
And it was a book that she was working on that was about her life,
Yeah.
and these are the people that people know about Mama Byars,
Mm.
my mother was a singer. And, my mom told me that, but I never heard her singing. So I never took it seriously. You know what I mean? But she
Mm.
said the story about she went to the Apollo, to get discovered.
Wow.
But Sarah Vaughan went on before her, and that just ended all of that.
That's a wrap.
That's right. And that whole scene was going to be repeated several years later, you know. But anyway, I digress because I'm starting talking about Natalie Cole, and that's a funny story. So, but anyway, it's like um, when you see that nothing was missing,
Yeah.
even with the nanny,
Yes.
even in the dark places where you know you were not treated well
Yeah.
as a away from your family, and the different things that might have happened. It's like, hey, the spirit was more than all of that.
Absolutely.
And wow, look at you now.
Look at me now. And I want to say this two things actually. One is because of that experience that I had with my father,
Yes.
I when he left in August or when he transitioned, because he just went into the greater I am. He went to the land of I am.
Mm-hmm.
I had a feeling that I still do now. I have no regrets.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. That moment left me feeling like nothing was left unsaid.
That's right.
The real truth, the real story was communicated in that moment. There are things
Praise
that
God.
things that we're working through about his houses in Nigeria and stuff. I wish he had told us,
Mhm.
but that experience went beyond things that
So
I
when,
feel so complete.
but yeah, but so when are we going to Nigeria to see our houses?
Soon.
Okay.
I love you. Okay. I love you. Okay.
I'll go with you.
Yeah, right. Because my pauses those times also brought up some things that
Hmm.
I
They're
wasn't
hard.
expected.
Yeah.
Hard.
How are you? So how are you doing these days? In the aftermath. And before you answer that, I want to acknowledge that Quinn Fontaine is in the room, and to say that Quinn is part of the revival that's happening in the Blue Ridge Mountains. In about a month from now, we're going to be in the Blue Ridge Mountains having a wonderful revival, restoring and reclaiming and remembering and resurrecting and any other you can find. We're doing it. And we are, Georgia Ann Muldrow is going to be there, which is unbelievable. Rob McDonald is going to be there. I'm bringing Rob to the East Coast, where Georgia calls it the South. Well,
Uncle Rob.
to the Southeast. And Quinn Fontaine is going to be there with his amazing comedy and presence. And John Stringer, the great singer John Stringer, is going to be there. And his wife, Kathy Stringer, will be with us. Tremone is going to be there. My nephew, who is doing sound, he'll be doing sound there and production. So we got the B Hood team, and some others are threatening to come, but I'll believe it when y'all show up. But so far we have a good number of people are coming, and it's not too late. You can come make plans to come, because this is what is it when it's your first year, and they call it, this is the blank year.
Is it the
What?
inaugural?
Yeah,
Is it?
the inaugural year.
Okay.
I don't like that word at all. But
Okay.
you know,
Yeah, we won't ask why or talk about why. I get it. I know
you
you enough to know exactly what you mean.
yeah, Taliba's going to be there, and she's got a comment up that said she never gave up on her dad. He told me,
Um,
"Don't ever think I don't love you because your dad loves you." You
yeah,
know, and hey, if your dad didn't tell you that he loved you, some kind of way you got to find your way to get the dad that's always there with you, and
that's it.
that's your holy father. You
Yes,
know, God's love, God's love, man. When God's love. Let me. Shoot. I
I
can't.
hear a song coming up.
Yeah, I want to sing all day on this piano. God is enough. God is enough for me. God is enough for me. Let me hear you sing that. God is enough. Oh, yes. God is enough for me. God is enough for me. You have got to stand, woo, even when you don't feel it, even when you can't see it. You have got to stand. And sometimes you might stumble, tumble down a mountain of your dreams, but you must just get on up and stand and say that God is enough. God is enough. Let God be enough for you. God's love be enough for you. God is enough for me. In the morning, sing, God is enough. All day long, God is enough for me. God is enough for me. Oh, I love that song. What do you need in your life? What do you need that you don't already have? Maybe it's faith. Get on with me, life coach Ade.
yes, yes, yes. Maybe it's love.
Maybe it's love that you think you don't have.
Mhm. Maybe it's remembering that you do belong, no matter what. God is enough in this moment. And when we are willing, ready, and available to embody that truth, somebody will verbalize it and it will touch that part of us that needs to hear it. Say yes and stay open.
Say yes, stay open, and feel this love right now. Feel this song loving you. Because
Mhm.
God is all in this song.
Mhm.
I'm so thankful, man. God, my journey is it's just an extraordinary journey. And sometimes I just go through periods where I don't know anything. Where
Mm,
where I don't, you can get on the thread with me where I don't know anything. Where
mm.
it feels like everybody else knows more about it than me.
Whew.
You know, and and so I started doing things that other people do
Mm,
because I'm inspired by what it is they do. You know, but I'm forgetting
yeah.
what I learned is substantial.
Mm.
I'm forgetting that God in me is
Yes.
substantial.
I love what you did there. That's beautiful. That's what comedians do. Start a story and end it with how they started.
It's
Absolutely.
like God,
Yeah.
God is substantial. It's like
Hmm.
I was, and the things that the way I walk in the world. If this might, I don't know if this is not scripture. This is Rickie Chur, you
The book
know.
of the book of Ricky,
Yeah, the book of Rickie.
Rigasa version,
But the thing is,
chapter two.
but the thing is like that when you don't know, that's all right. It's okay to not know, you know. You just lean into what's holding you always. God is enough. God is enough. And God knows everything about it. God knows what you need. I was talking to somebody and I was just listening to them. Georgia! And I'm sorry. They were like, they were so knowledgeable about what they were telling me. And what they were saying was about showing me how to ask. Because I was like, I don't know how to ask for money or to ask people to give, to contribute, And she was like, well, you have not because you asked, that kind of thing. And I'm listening. And then I remembered, I was like, the reasons why I don't ask, it's because I have already. And if it looks like if it looks like the money is low or things are not coming there's something for me to know in that realm that's going to take me very high.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
in the zone that I'm in, that's not what I came to do. I didn't come to do what Reverend Ike did.
Okay.
What Reverend Ike came to do, what he did.
Yes.
And others who are at that zone. But there's something else, that there's another zone that brings it to you without you asking. It's like I needed a piano, but I didn't need it in my soul. I love the piano I had, but the spirit, it was like, hey, we're taking you to another way. You need another piano. You need another instrument. I didn't know I needed another instrument. You know what I'm saying? And if the money if it looks like you're not getting what you got and what it was 4 years ago, it's like, well, maybe you're in a different place now. Maybe you're supposed to do it differently. Maybe you don't need all that band. Maybe you just need the singers and the piano sometimes. Maybe that will be refreshing. Maybe just work with what we have and give thanks for what we have to bless and multiply.
Yes.
So whatever it is that when we think that it's not enough, I want to invite everybody to get to the frame of God. What is enough? What's missing in God? And the relationship is not with what I don't have. My relationship just needs to be stronger in God. What it is, and how is God holding me through this? And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful to be able to return to that space. Because in that space, it's like one with the one with the one, one with the real vibration, sweet liberation, rushing to get it done, needing to be one with the one with the one. When you get married, man.
You threw me a curveball. I have so many thoughts that you've inspired. It's like, oh my God. And then you turn to that. Well, the intention is going to happen this year. I want to say two things because, well, if you don't mind, I want to share something from my book.
Yes.
And one thing I don't know, I feel like it'd be easily missed. Everybody listen to this. Everybody, I'm just going to say, everybody's inspired by your songs. And I want to just kind of tap people on the shoulder and saying some of these songs that give us life, They came from a place where you didn't know,
Mm-hmm.
where things were painful, and out of that, you didn't even tune in. It came through you. What
Mm-hmm.
am I saying? That when we're going through the most challenging experience, it's an opportunity to allow a new awareness, a new understanding, healing to come through. That's not only just going to heal me, but it
Mm-hmm.
will heal the people that I get to share the story with. And
Mm-hmm.
it lives after I've gone. It
Mm.
becomes part of the fabric of humanity,
Mm-hmm.
and the importance of making room for grief, for trauma, for the triggers and the things people that get on our last nerves, to say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I might have to move you out of my life, but I want to tap into that thing that came up when you said that,
Mm-hmm.
because it's an opportunity to be reborn. We run from it, but the pressure of pain and struggle is enough to just crack us open so we can shine differently.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a this journey. Yeah. Anyway, I can go on for another hour or two, because it's two. Well, one. What time is it over here? I think it's 1 o'clock now, or 2 o'clock, 2 a.m.
No, it's well, you know, we're in no
Time,
time. We're in
timeless.
eternal time. You know,
That's
we're
it.
gonna wrap it up, but not. But thank you for what you said. You know,
And-
and yes, yes, read that book.
Yeah, read that book. And it's funny because, well, God does what God does. So I'm going to go to this. So the book is called, for those who say, what book? Spiritual Appetizers for the
For
Soul.
the soul.
And the book is, you can read it from beginning to the end if you want to, but the idea is to open up to a page and let it speak to you. So this is the one. Um, this is in the section of yielding to change. Life experiences such as trauma, grief, or loss offer you a gift, a unique depth into your life. If you cultivate the courage to unwrap the gifts, they can make you better, not bitter.
Mm,
If you allow yourself to welcome it, as painful as it is,
mhm,
it could make you better,
mhm,
not bitter.
mhm.
And this one, you said something about the story of the piano. This was perfect for this. This is under the section Birthing of a New Love. If you are struggling to get to a place, if you're struggling to get to a place to do what you love,
Mhm.
start by loving what you're doing.
Mhm.
The consciousness that obtains sustains.
I like that.
Welcome love now.
Welcome love now. And when you want to get to the place to love what to do what you love, first you start by loving what you're doing.
Yes, even if you think, I wish I'm doing something different, love it. Love
Yeah.
it. Find reasons to love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not as an obligation, but
Yes.
hey,
Yes.
I don't like this job, but it pays my bill. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
grateful for that.
Yeah.
I get to be around people to hear different opinions. They don't think like me. I get
Yeah.
to know where I am in truth,
Yes. Yes.
or I get to share my story, my wisdom with them. Actually,
Yeah.
it's not that bad,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
work is making love visible.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, if you learn how to do that, you certainly you certainly elevate to you spiral up.
Absolute
You
spiral up.
spiral up. You know,
Yes.
you spiral up, and you don't put yourself there. You are there in
Yes.
awareness. You're there in consciousness. You
Yes.
know, and then because form follows consciousness, so it just it happens, and it what's blowing me away these days is that I'm getting to watch it happen in my life.
Mm.
Like I didn't quite understand the power of the music because I was just writing it and loving the power of the harmony and all those people singing or just singing by myself and feeling the love of the receptivity and the healing that was happening also when I sang those songs many years, you
Mm.
know. But I mean the healing in me. I'm talking about. I'm not talking about it.
Mm.
But it's like now to see so many people who are so moved by the music and I mean out of nowhere, they come all over the place. Like, oh my God, I started my business because of you. And
Mm,
I came to Agape a long time ago, and man, I sat down there and you started singing and I just cried, and I looked down,
mm.
the whole row was crying. And
Yes.
and then I started my business, and I got 3 stores, and one in New York and
Mm.
one here. And she said she's coming to the B Hood on Sunday and bringing desserts. So I was
And
like,
you said, come on.
yeah, I hope she shows up. But if she never comes, she made my day, just in sharing that story. And I hear it so often, and I can be very calm about it and
Mhm.
very thankful, and just say, look at God. Look at how you work,
Yes.
you know, you
Yes.
know, the carnal mind wants what it wants, you
Oof.
know, you
Yeah.
know, but when you're one with the one, it is what it is.
And Ricky, one of the things that I'm discovering, you asked me earlier, you think, what are you, where are you now? Or
Yes,
something like that.
yes,
I am in a space that feels scary and reassuring at the same time.
mm-hmm,
And it's like I'm coming to a place where there's no need to push
mm-hmm.
and surrendering. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine, um, and it's something that I was thinking about, but she was able to reflect it to me. It's like you stepping into your eldership.
Yes.
I don't say that from a place of ego. I
You're
say,
stepping into your eldership. How old are
yeah.
you? You're 25 years old.
Well, actually, I'll be 56 in 15 days.
No, you're stepping into your adulthood. In, in the Cherokee Nation, you don't become an adult till you're 52. You ain't even. No, I'm stepping to my elderhood. No, you ain't.
No, but here's the thing, Ricky, and that's the thing. It's like
Maybe to your wisdom, though.
that's pretty much it.
Yes.
Because it's the wisdom that's been cultivated, wishing I'm this or that. I need to.
Yeah.
There comes a point in life
When you grow up.
where who we are and what we are wants to naturally outpicture.
Yeah.
And the mind can't even do anything with it. And it can be scary.
Yes.
What is happening? Don't I care about life anymore? But then things start to happen even before I ask, or
Yes.
things that I worry about has been taken care of.
Yes.
And or it's like I'm in a place right now. I'm moving from where I'm at today. Well, Friday. I don't know where I'm moving to. I'm putting my
Mm-hmm.
stuff in storage.
Okay. Uh-huh.
There's a little bit of like,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm hearing that inner guidance.
That's
It
right.
is going to be okay.
It's going to be
And
okay.
today was when I finally surrendered. And I'm telling you that before I could, that final surrender, I woke up with the heat of all sorts.
Yes.
Like, what is it? It's like birthing.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes we want to pray that away.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes we want to affirm it away. Oftentimes we call it negative emotions. But
Mm-hmm.
no, it's you're dying to what no longer serves you, and that seed is losing its shell for
Mm-hmm.
new life to be birthed.
Yeah.
We gotta be careful when we're praying away the answer to the prayer that we prayed for.
Mm-hmm.
When it shows up in a way that we don't even know. But when it shows up, it might not make sense to trust beyond
Yes.
faith that
Yes.
something good is coming out of this, because it always, 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 no matter what you do, what you think, whether you're low vibration, higher vibration, it always fades into God. It always fades into God. God is all there is. But the process could be scary. It could
Yes.
feel lonely. But if we
Yes.
could just hold on to the no thing, one day
Yes.
we'll be like, "Ooh, I'm glad I'm on this side." And it goes on, and then we become the space for God to really show up.
Yeah, somebody very dear to me called me today. Charles Holt
Mm,
had the same experience, and that he's successfully relocating to Raleigh
mm,
and North Carolina from New York. That's a very, very big move for somebody like
mm,
him, and who was a theater baby. He was really into it. And I know who you are, D. Sermons. It's good to see you on the thread. Patricia Caines is beaming in from New York City. So many beautiful people here on the thread tonight. But so those of you who are in transition, you are kind of in between the worlds. You got your stuff packed in one place and not quite sure where you're going. Wherever you are, you're in God. You know,
Absolutely.
and like the very young elder Ade. Ain't no elder. You ain't even a senior citizen yet. But
It all depends on how you senior citizen.
yeah, you ain't even got no AARP card.
I haven't got my card yet, right?
I mean, I don't use that card. Really, I don't. I put in card. But a lot of people swear by it. But I'm just saying,
a lot of people swear
I mean,
by it.
there's enough time for that, you know. But I feel like what you're describing is adulthood. It's like you're a man. You know, you're a man. You've grown up. You know, you've grown up, and there's more growing to do. It's not like a destination, but it's like so much is unfolding in you, and without the drama of yesterday. But you know, this has been an incredible, I guess we could call it an exile, sort of, you know, from this country. But you were never exiled from God. You were always in God. You know, you can go everywhere else in the world, you know, and
Absolutely.
you still didn't tell me when the wedding date was, but we'll talk about that today.
Yeah, we had a day, but we had to change it. So, but you will know the day. Maybe if you could make space for us, maybe we'll be bold enough to say, would you mind singing at our sacred ceremony?
You fly me in.
Okay.
I will sing like a bird.
Okay, you got it.
You got it. I would love to sing at your wedding. Are you kidding me? You know, I sang at Ernie Banks's wedding when Charlie Pride was the best man and Hank Aaron was the best. He had two best men, two groomsmen. He had Hank Aaron, Charlie Parker, and Stedman Graham. And I was there. Ernie Banks. That was deep, man. I have been some places. Y'all just don't know.
I want to say something random here.
Well, wait a minute. I just want to say I've been some places, but where I am right now is the best place. Now, what you want to say?
Well, the power of story and the power of saying something without saying something. Earlier, when you say Georgia, most people will be like, why did she just call her name randomly? No, it wasn't random. There was a lot of conversation. And Georgia got it. You said what you said, and you moved on. And now I was like,
Y'all can. It was a lot of conversation in
the I didn't hear the conversation, but I knew what you were doing.
You know. Hey, let's pray out. This has been Fresher Than Real. It's been great being with you tonight and hearing from you and seeing you all grown up and brilliant and forgiving and nurtured in the love of God. Thank you, dear Spirit, for blessing everybody who is in the room today. We are blessed.
Yes.
We are blessed because we were made from the highest. And if you're made from the highest, God, like I've heard life coach Ade say, God don't make no junk. God don't make no junk. God made you beautiful. So let us rest in God and say,
Amen.
Thank you.
You threw it to me. You were like, oh God, he's going to say that day. You're like, oh, thank God.
Run the banner. God bless him.
Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say,